Welcome back, everyone, to Pinetopia. Since the last episode, I went out and gathered wood of each of the 9 types, and also now have saplings of each of the types so that I could generate more of this wood. And why do I need wood of all 9 types? And that is because since we have 9 types of wood in the current version of Minecraft, I know there is going to be a 10th being added when 26.3 comes out. But for now, we have 9 types of wood, not counting the hypha and not counting bamboo. And this means that we have the same number of woods as we have golf holes. Yes, right, this is a 9-hole golf course. So therefore, I'm going to associate each hole on the course with a specific type of wood. I'm going to go in alphabetical order. So they're going in alphabetical order as we are starting with acacia for hole 1. So I decided to place a pair of acacia trees right in front of the clubhouse since this is the path to it. And I updated the bridge. So first off, it is now higher. And second of all, it is now made of acacia instead of cobble. And I am considering switching out acacia for the pads also, but I think that could be reserved for later. Once I have everything nice and settled, then I could worry about digging up the pads and changing it. And I might even keep the pads the way they are. Now, when I go to the next hole, I will have the shelter, of course, and the shelter will be made of the same wood as the new wood type. So hole 2, the wood type is birch, hence the birch trees near the second hole, and the shelter is also made of birch. It was originally oak, but I switched it out, so now I have an oak floor and birch walls instead of the other way around. And when I go to each of the other holes and start building their shelters, they will also be made of the appropriate wood for the area. Another possibility I was considered is starting to add out of bounds fences. If I find areas where I want to discourage the ball from going out of bounds or the like, then perhaps I could put some out of bounds fences using the wood type. So I will have some sort of marker telling me, yes, this is the type of wood associated with this particular hole. And how about if I grab this and also make some modifications to my flag? And why do I care about the flag? That's because I finally have some vines. And since I have vines, that means that I should be able to make a pattern, a vine pattern, right? Yeah, here we are. Bordure indented banner pattern. Okay, good. And that is what I need in order to finish up my numbers here. Actually, I also need some white dye for this. So well, here's some blue dye. And we also need some white dye. Now let's see how this works. I want to take the flag. I need the white dye. And I need this pattern. Oh boy, it looks a whole lot closer to a 1 now, doesn't it? All right, good. But we do have a couple of tricks we still need. And that is we want to add the bottom bit to this, where that will be this one right here. All right, good. And then, of course, finish it off with a little bit of a border all the way around. Yeah, that is, there you go, our indicator for our first hole. I suppose I could make it orange instead, but for now, we'll just keep them all blue. There we go. That looks like something that makes it very, very easy to tell that this is the first hole. I have a nice clear view of the pin from here, and yes, I can see the 1 quite clearly. So obviously that is the right hole to attempt to hit. Now, what I need to do is to be able to actually hit the ball across so that I can actually stay on that side, because crossing this river is the toughest thing I know of for this particular course. Now let's see if I can get across with a hit like, oh, actually that might work. I wasn't optimistic on it when I first saw where it was heading, but it got to the other side and it stayed there. And that's the most important thing for the first shot. The second shot, can I do that as a putt? Now, I have all the honey blocks in there now, so I should have absolutely no trouble with it staying in the hole, assuming that I hit it into it. Now, if I hit the fence post and it bounces back, then, well, that's for like hitting the flag post in ball golf. It doesn't work. It doesn't stay in there, so you got a problem. Now, what if I use the putter? At the very least, it would be an approach shot, right? Where are my sticks? Ah, here they are. Now, right. You stay away from the ball, and I won't turn you into pork chops, okay? Very well. Now, how about... oh, a little off center. All right. Well, I've done worse. Okay, in 3. It's par. For hole 2, of course, we have the birch shelter and the birch trees. And we also have, of course, my bee nest. And every once in a while, I like to come by and grab some honey so that I could continue with making the honey bottoms for all of them, because this is a very successful experiment. Once I had all 9 in there, it very consistently stops as soon as it gets to the bottom. Now let's see if I can get to the second one. Now, you see way down there, that cherry tree? That is the third tee. That means that the pin is most likely right around where the crosshair is at the moment, because the tee is near the second hole. So let's see how far we can hit this. Now the tricky thing with this shot I've been finding is that if I hit it with the axe, it goes too far. If I hit it with the sword, it doesn't seem to be going far enough. I'm not exactly sure of the exact... Well, that was a poor shot. Well, at least it didn't go backwards, which is progress compared to ways things. So, oh, actually, it went right down onto the path. I know that the pin is pretty much straight that way. Don't hit it too far. That's the... There we go. That should be a decent distance. Oh, actually, I hit that a little bit too much towards the cherry tree. That is not the way to get a birdie on this hole. Now, where are we? All right. It's on the road towards for the third hole. All right. Now, do I lay it up and put it there, or do I try to see if I can actually... I think I would have to really lob it in order to... Oh, actually, that worked. So, right, it sounds like if used properly, a copper pickaxe does act as a wedge. All right, that's good to know. And now, can I par this? Good. And this hole also has a full set of 9 honey blocks, so it had no worries about it popping out. So I'm getting pars on this, on the first 2 holes. What about the third hole? Now, the third hole is trickier. I don't have everything set up in for it yet. I don't have my dark oaks planted yet, so I can't see my target because, well, even if I did, the dark oaks would be planted on along the tee, which is near the river, while the I probably had to put a cherry somewhere near the hole of it, behind the hole, so that I'll have some hope of being able to tell where my target is located. It looks like the other cherry tree grew since I came in, placed the ball there. So, all right, let's see. I think this will work. Of course, there's always the possibility that it's going to bounce backwards. Similar to that. Apparently, that was not a good shot. So let's try. All right. These go straight. So that's the biggest problem I have is the ball sometimes just decides it wants to bounce off of something. Now, okay, there's the flag right over there. Let's try this again. Oh, I shanked it. All right. Well, that is, I was about to say 2, but technically that's 4 because we had that failed drive and the penalty stroke that followed it. Okay, well, it went back in, I guess. Yeah, I don't have the honey down at the bottom of this one yet. But that shows you why I want the honey at the bottom of it, because it bounced out, went back in at least, which is better than what it did sometimes when we had that difficulty. But that one was a 5 if we counted the initial drive and the penalty stroke for putting it back on the tee. So a bogey. I've had worse on that hole. Now this hole. Well, this is going to be the dark oak hole, so I'll probably have to change that oak that's up ahead there with a dark oak. And that's going to be my aiming point, though, whatever tree is there. I may relocate the dark oak when I plant it so that it's not so obviously in the way. But of course, it is going to come into play no matter what. Now, I also have this birch tree that has a bee nest on it over here. I had to think about what to do about that because I don't want to destroy that bee nest. I'll probably deal with that when I finally get Silk Touch. Let's see how well I can hit this one. Ooh, actually, looks like a pretty good shot. Assuming it doesn't fall. Okay. It must have hit something. It must have gone way, 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 way forward and then hit against something and come back. I think it may have hit a wall that I had installed to keep it from falling into a cave system. In which case, it did its job. If that's what really happened, no, because the wall I installed was that one right there. Okay, so it must have hit this hill right over here. Actually, compared to some of the things I've had happen in the past, that was probably closer to being helpful. Oh, there's the flag right over there. When I get a number on it, since this is hole 3, I'll be able to see that better. Maybe have something behind it or something that I have some contrast so I can actually see it. But I think when I add a number to it, it should be a lot easier to detect. Now, what about a sword with a bit of loft? Okay, that was a little bit too much loft. So, this one is bad. Can I? Can I try a ricochet shot? Oh. Not if I put that much loft onto it. Okay. Oh, well. Okay, looks like I'm getting a bogey on this one. Oh, it actually went in. Is that a par? Oh, ee! It's an invasion! All right, now, how about if I could take care of these? Unfortunately, I only have one arrow, so that's not going to do much good, especially if I miss that poorly. Now, let's see. How about hide behind the spruce tree? Hello. All you have to do is hit yourselves. Yeah. Ouch! Okay, somebody there has... Okay, yeah, someone there has an enchanted crossbow. Okay, enchanted crossbow. Let's rethink this retreat first. I definitely need a good source of arrows because I only had one arrow, and that is not going to help me to fight against the pillagers. Hello? But one of them has a... I don't know what it's called, what the enchantment is called. There's an enchanted crossbow there that's obviously ignoring my shield. And I want to see if I can get this guy isolated. Oh, there are only two of them now. They don't look like they have anything that's enchanted. Oops. Okay. Okay. Maybe I should have just let them fight each other. And you? Alright, now. Rude. I don't know what happened to the rest of the pillagers. Maybe I managed to kill them or they killed each other or something like that. But I don't see them around, so perhaps they won't molest me anymore. I must need to have anti-pillager insurance or something like that on my golf course. It's hard to have a nice, peaceful game of golf if you are being invaded every once in a while. Now, hole number 4. Now, I originally was conceiving of a dog leg for this course, but if you saw the flag up there, you'll see it's obviously not a dog leg anymore. My original plan was to head over towards the village over there. But I am finding that climb to be too much of a problem. And considering how much trouble I have with the water crossings, I think adding another one where you have to get up onto a hill is going to make things a little bit too tedious on there. So currently I have the hole right over here. That was originally supposed to be hole number 6, but so now I'm turning this into hole number 5. I really should change the orientation of the flag so that it's more easily visible from that area down over there. And the reason why on top of the hill problems in there is I want it to be close to the water. And the reason for that, oh yeah, that's another candidate for the location of the hole if I wanted to make it a little bit more difficult. And it'd be a lot more difficult there because of the water hazard there. So I may just leave it where it's at now. But the next tee I want to have up here near the water, probably a little bit of a platform so I'm not trying to go too much up on the hill. And the reason why I want this is because the theme for this particular hole, for hole number 6, is going to be mangroves. And I figure starting it near water would be much more appropriate than starting it up way up there at a village as far from water as possible. It doesn't help that I am mistaking the sugarcane that's up ahead, is probably, I guess, along the bay there. I'm mistaking that for the hole. So I'm thinking, all right, that's where I need to go. But unfortunately, this isn't where I need to go. Well, actually, that might be a good aiming point because it may be a slight dog leg, I suspect. I'll just have to see when I start putting out the path. Right now, let's try. Actually, no, I don't want to do that. Let's try it with the sword. Because I think the axe will be too. Oh, it just barely missed the tree. Ah, yes, trees, the bane of every golfer. I suppose that if you're playing mini golf, you won't run into too many trees. But if you play full-size games of golf, you'll probably be running into trees or some equivalent on occasion there. Okay, so that's the pin right there. I need to change the direction that the flag is facing because right now it was assuming that the tee was up around the village. So let us where did the oh there it is. Okay. Now let's put this here. And perhaps I'll be able to see it better. Yes, it'll be much more obvious when I have the 5 showing on there. Now, let's see. Would this be a good hit? All right. Now, one of the rules in this course is if you hit a blade of grass that keeps you from hitting this at all, it does not count as a stroke. I'm pretty sure that is counter to the rules of standard golf. Let's see. 1, 2, so that's 3. So this might be a chip. Oops. Yeah. Okay, there we go. That didn't go too well. Hey, at least get that part right. All right. Well, that hole was not up to specs, or at least not my performance on the hole. I think I know what I'll be doing with hole 6 now. Right here, here's the mangrove that will be marking the location of hole 6. The actual location of the hole is right near that mangrove down over in that direction. That's a good aiming spot because you don't see the flag from here. Now, the tricky thing about this shot is, currently at least, there is this oak tree that is along the path there. So you gotta be a little bit left of things in order to avoid the oak when you do it. So then, figure we do something like this and hit across there. Now, I'm using the sword instead of the axe because I'm hoping I will not go all the way to the pond. Yes, there it goes. Stops just short of the pond. Now, the bamboo there, that's where the flag stick, a temporary flag stick is located. So We'll take our second shot then, and this is going to be a little bit trickier because we've got to get it up all the way there. We're not as high as we were before, so I'm not exactly sure of the perfect way in which to do that, and I wind up into the second pond. Now the question is, do I hit it as a lie or move it back here with the one-stroke penalty? Let's see what happens if I hit it over here. And not quite, but I'm just a chip away. I think in the actual hole, this will be down and there won't be anything here. So this would actually be a very, very simple putt, I think, in the final version of the hole. And we have it in. So, makeable one though. This water hazard here is going to be a little bit of a trick that has to be worked through. And of course, there is the oak there. But at least it's not bouncing back all over. Well, I guess if I hit the oak, it will. But anyway, that is hole 6. Now, of course, these are very, very early versions of it. Now, because hole 7 is another river shot, and see, see, where are we? Well, I had been considering turning around and heading towards the village. I decided that terrain would not be particularly friendly there, and there's enough unfriendly terrain on this course as it is. So instead, I will start now near the water with that mangrove there marking the spot. Probably have the hut right over there. And from here, I'll be aiming towards the mangrove, narrow the crosshairs right back down there. Now we do have a couple of oaks in the foreground, especially that one there. That could make the shot tricky. For now, I'm going to leave it in to add a little challenge to the hole. And the other bit that has some challenge to the hole is that we have these water hazards there that are nice and built in. Well, maybe not nice, but they are built into there and could make things tricky in there. Fortunately, they're shallow ones, so you could hit it from the water or you could walk it back to just before where it entered if you want to take the penalty stroke instead. Then from there, we have a very, very short hole where you hit it from there all the way up to the rather short pillar up near the crosshairs. That could be hole number 7. Then hole number 8 will be the pillar at the crosshairs over there. That's barely visible there. And then you could hit it back over the river onto this side again for another one of those tough river shots. And the initial aiming point is going to be the spruce here, so it would be nice and appropriate that this spruce is actually going to be part of the course. I was wondering if I needed to take it down or something like that, but no, I think leaving it as a spruce because this is going to be part of the 9th hole. And we'll be finishing up here right next to the clubhouse. I will, of course, need some time to build those last 4 holes and take care of any quirks and glitches that may still be in the current ones. And of course, get the honey at the bottom of all the holes so that we will be able to not have to worry about the ball flying out every time we hit it in. But I think that's it for now, and I'll see you again for next episode where most likely we will be starting the work onto the 7th hole. And that's in the next episode of Piney Plays Minecraft Pinetopia.